I'm terribly sorry for the lack of videos recently. I know I haven't made a video for like a week. I'm usually pumping out videos once a day, but I've been very busy. But I promise that next weekend, again, I'll just be pumping out 4 or 5 videos so we can conclude this Best Picture review saga, you could say. Let's talk about Get Out. So Get Out is a film that is kind of like a horrific take on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Basically, we have this black fellow, he has a white girlfriend, he's going to meet her parents, and it's a bit nerve-wracking, because, racism and stuff. He doesn't know what kind of people they'll be, and it turns into a bit of a horror. These parents are pretty fucked up. I know lots of you have probably seen the movie, it came out last year. I still won't spoil anything. I don't know why. I could spoil stuff, and it wouldn't be bad, but I just won't. I don't want to, spoil the film for the sake of spoiling the film. Let's just talk about it. So, I have notes here, so if you see me looking down here, just don't worry. Oh yeah, here we go. Get Out is amazing. Get Out's an amazing film, and I connect with it in a way. The first time I saw it, I was a bit meh, but after a few viewings, I feel like I'm friends with it almost. It's so good to see a film like this get nominated for Best Picture. I just feel like I said, I'm friends with it. I don't know how that works. I don't know why I feel like I'm friends with the movie, but just I don't know. That's just how I feel. It really does harken back to old horror and thriller. Suspense leads to horror. You can't just jump, right into the jump scares and just go full on cheap, I feel like you have to have that suspense to truly terrify your audience, and Get Out definitely does have that. It's just so good to see a film that really does harken back to 1960s horror. The performances. Daniel Kaluuya got nominated, rightfully so. He was so good. There's a scene where he's sitting in a chair, he's being hypnotized, and he's crying. It's so good. His performance is out of this world. So is Allison Williams. She's not being talked about too much. I was watching reviews for it. She's not mentioned at all. I feel like she should be though. Allison Williams, who plays his girlfriend, is really good. You could say she grows as a character, changes up a bit. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about by the end. Yeah, like I said, she's very, very underrated, and just her smile, there's something off about her. You can tell. You can kind of tell throughout the entire film. I love her performance. Then there's the parents who are really creepy. They're just great. The dad starts off, kind of like an old man trying to be hip again, Yeah, that's what you think he is at the start of the movie, but turns out he's something else. Same with the mum, she's seems kind of sweet at the start, but then she becomes something very different. I don't know. And then there's the comic relief, the Daniel Kaluuya's friend in the film, who he has phone conversations with, and those scenes were amazing. So funny. He has the whole thing where he's trying to put together the pieces, of what's going on, because Daniel Kaluuya's called him up and said, hey bro, something, is happening, something really weird with these parents, and he's, it's just so funny to watch, just so funny. And then there's Jordan Peele. Wow. I feel like he's a fan of horror. He's been watching horror for so many years, stuff like The Gallows, cheap jump scares, and he's gone, alright, let's show all these horror directors how it's done. I love when horror directors really do understand the genre, and Jordan Peele does. I actually do think he should win Best Director for the Oscars. He probably won't. He most likely won't, but it'd be so good to see him get that Oscar. I do have one flaw with the film, and that is the party scene. I feel like it goes on for too long. It just kind of drags a bit. It doesn't really affect the film too much, but it just kind of drags on a bit. By the time it gets to the end of the party scene, it really does make up for the rest of it, because the end of it's really awesome. Something to do with the Flash. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The Flash. And yeah, that kind of made up for it. So yeah, Get Out is a film that really does harken back to old horror, and I love that. It's so good to see a film like this get nominated. Great performances, great directing, and I'm gonna give Get Out an 8.5 out of 10.